What about his foreign policy? If you thought that George Bush was imperialist, and he was, if you think that Obama is too imperialist and interventionist now, which, to my way of thinking, he kind of is, get a load of Reagan. The Reagan administration engaged in plenty of disastrous policies in Latin America. The most notable is our financing of the Contras in Nicaragua without congressional approval, and once Congress found out, we started selling arms, of course, to the Iranians, and then we could, or was it to the Iraqis? It was either to the Iraqis or the Iranians, possibly both, because we had a really fucked up role in that conflict, which naturally increased their hatred of us in both of those countries. And then in Latin America, we financed the Contras, who were effectively waging a terrorist war against the leftist Sandinista government. And because we didn't like leftists due to our domino theory concerning communism, we wanted to stop them, so we were willing to fund a campaign of terror and indiscriminate killing. And of course, the World Court condemned this as an act of international terrorism, and there were plenty of UN resolutions against us because we were violating international law. But then, none of the people were held accountable because we're the United States, who can do whatever we want. And many were resurrected in the second Bush administration. For instance, John Negroponte, who was crucial to this, became our ambassador to Iraq. Brilliant. And of course, a great example of CIA blowback was our funding and work with the resistance by the Taliban in Afghanistan to the Soviet occupation. Now, of course, the Soviet occupation was imperialist bullshit, but so are so many of our wars. And we happened to finance the Taliban, which we later, as you may recall, after 9/11, felt the need to destroy because who was in their ranks, including when we were funding them? Osama motherfucking bin Laden. Oh, talk about blowback, bastards. How about his big government stuff on free speech? Well, check out who Ronald Reagan, that proponent of small and limited government, chose to attempt to appoint to the Supreme Court. Robert Bork thankfully was not appointed, and conservatives to this day view this as unfair and based on some ideological bias. But I think there's another reason. Robert Bork's fucking crazy. I mean, check out this quote by him. Bork's thesis is that constitutional protection should be accorded only to speech that is explicitly political. There is no basis for judicial intervention to protect any other form of expression, be it scientific, literary, or that variety of expression we call obscene or pornographic. Moreover, within that category of speech we ordinarily call political, there should be no constitutional obstruction to laws making criminal any speech that advocates forcible overthrow of the government or the violation of any law. So let's see, what can be banned? Well, this book is not political, it's scientific. You can ban it. This book, it's not political, it's scientific. Ban it. This book is technically political, so maybe you can't ban it. However, it talks about anarchists. Maybe somewhere in this book, I don't know, it might mention forcible overthrow of government. Maybe you can ban it. Some of the essays in this book are explicitly political, so you can ban parts of it. AP Chemistry, sure, it's not political, you can ban it. Handy Physics Answer Book, ban it. Yes, brilliant reading of the First Amendment. Ronald Reagan was a war criminal. He did not believe in the free market. He massively expanded the police state and the imperialist state. He was a complete opponent of civil liberties. He was not who he said he was, except, of course, on his conservative family values. I know that's not a Reagan impersonation, but I can't do a Reagan impersonation. So, where was he on conservative family values? Well, a typical misogynistic idiot. He imposed the Mexico City policy, better known as the global gag rule,
which thankfully was overturned by Clinton, then reimposed by the second Bush administration, and then again overturned by Barack Obama. So, the Mexico City policy, as I've already explained, barred our funding in terms of foreign aid, which, interestingly, he increased foreign aid, as it's pointed out in the Ludwig von Mises Institute article, to which I link, but it prohibited foreign aid that we send out from going to any reproductive health organization that happened to offer abortion. It didn't just forbid it from funding abortion, it forbade it from being given to those organizations. So, it was effectively blackmailing foreign organizations out of applying abortion. Yeah, real great for women's rights, real great for women's health. In conclusion, with all due respect, Ronald Reagan, you were a hypocrite. Fuck you. Take it away, Jello.